starting off at Alaska's No CM Lodge, because I know some people that are going to go to Alaska, and it seems to be popular nowadays. I don't know why. So tell me who you are and what you have. What about your lodge?
My name is John Holman, and I own this business, No CM Lodge. This is a second-generation fly fishing lodge. We're located in southwest Alaska. We're about 300 miles from Anchorage. So in 1975, we started flying around trying to catch rainbow trout out that way. My dad did, and so I took over in 2007 as the owner. I fly and guide every day. We take 12 people in a week, and we fish about 30 different rivers down in Bristol Bay, primarily fly fishing for rainbow trout, but we fish for all 5 species of salmon, char, grayling, pike. Very, very productive area. As far as fishing goes, Southwest Alaska is the epicenter for rainbow trout fishing and for salmon in Alaska.
Okay, so what happens? They book it online or they call you up? Take me through the process just a little bit.
People can either call me, they can go through travel agents. There's all kinds of ways to get to me, but we, of course, have a website like everybody else. Generally, people will call me up and they'll say, here's what I'm looking for. We'll talk about a time period when they might want to come. They'll send a deposit. They'll show up in Anchorage that week. They'll come and spend a week with me flying out to various rivers every day.
So they book it through the website or through a travel agent, and they land at the airport. And do you pick them up from the airport, or do they have to get to your lodge?
They will land in Anchorage at the international airport. We have a charter that will fly them from Anchorage out to King Salmon, Alaska, where we pick them up in our de Havilland Beavers and then fly them to the lodge from there. And then they spend a week with us. Now our place is top end, all right? It's everything's included in our package. Gourmet meals, open bar, the sauna, hot tub. We utilize 3 de Havilland Beavers on floats to accommodate 12 guests. So that means we're a relatively small operation, exclusive in regards to the number of aircraft, to the number of clients we take. So we don't drop people off out there and expect that they're going to get picked up in the afternoon type of thing. Our big difference between us and much of our competition is that our aircraft stay right with our people all day, so we can fish multiple rivers in one day. Very customizable trip, and really the top end of service.
Okay, so you fly them in, but are you guys out there alone, or is there like a strip of,
This is an aircraft. There's no strip of people. There's no combat fishing. This is out there alone. This is the middle of nowhere. Very, very remote. Probably more bears than you will other fishermen.
Okay, that sounds great. And the other question I had was, I'm just curious. I remember when my dad went, he went alone, and just one old guy. Is it families? Is it couples, single people? What is a typical person that comes to your lodge?
There's no typical. We get singles. We get groups of 12. They'll take the entire lodge. We'll get families. The ideal setup, though, is at least 2 people. That way you have a person that you are going to go out and fish with in a day. We're set up for 2 anglers per guide, so it'd be nice if each person had somebody. But we get a lot of singles that they come up the first year, they meet people at the lodge, and then they come year after year together at the same time. So they meet their fishing partner there.
What's the best time of year? Is there a best time of year to go?
There's not a best time. There's different times based on what people want to catch and how they want to fish for them. So if you want to come up and have a trip where you fish for rainbow trout and king salmon, you're going to do that in June and July. If you want to just concentrate on the biggest rainbow trout available in the world, you're going to do that in August, September. So it just depends on what your goal.
Okay. One last question. How long do people usually stay? Is this like a 1 month, a couple days, or a week, or what?
We offer 1 week trips, so it's Monday to Monday, and that's all we sell, 1 week. It's so far to come, less than a week is really not enough, and a week is just about right. Yeah, 1 week. We do have a lot of people that stay for 2 weeks, but that's option. 2 trips, right, yeah.
That's fantastic. So what's your website and, that kind of information, like your social media and all that?
It's all No CM Lodge. So nocmlodge.com and Facebook, Twitter, all that, it's all No CM Lodge. Pretty easy to remember. There's no Alaska Rainbow this or that. It's just No CM Lodge, Alaska.
It's NOSEEUMLODGE.com. No CM, because people probably listen, no CM, and they're going to spell it all kinds of ways. But it's like you don't see anything, no CM. Right. Well, that's fantastic. What's your name again?
John Holman. John Holman.
Okay, fantastic.
You're listening to the UnCommonCore podcast.
This is episode 23, The Fly Fishing Show, Part 1. I'm Tom Howell. Let's cue the pug in the background. I wanted to get the fly fishing show in for the start of spring. So, episode 24, after this, will be the finale of the New York audio show, Part 3. All companies and people you hear about here will be on our blog, on the web, at www.uncommoncorepodcast.com or www.uccpodcast.com. Or you can follow us on Pinterest. On Pinterest, I have boards for each episode and pins for just about everything you hear. Our Pinterest is UnCommonCore Pod. That's UnCommonCore Pod. And now, back to the show. So I was walking by and I saw you have a sunglass booth, and people don't realize it. But why sunglasses? Why are they important to fishing? And who are you? Who are you first?
My name is Smokey Barnes with Pinnacle Performance Eyewear.
Okay, and so Pinnacle Performance Eyewear. Now, why is eyewear? Why are sunglasses so important to the fly fisherman?
Well, sunglasses are important to everybody. You have the UV rays that are very harmful, and sunglasses will block 100% of those UV rays. For a fisherman, you need a polarized glass that blocks glare. That enables them to see through the water. They can actually see the fish.
Right, yeah, so you could see through the water. Now, is it, this is mostly for freshwater streams, is that right?
Can be freshwater stream or river, or lake or saltwater as well.
How would it work with saltwater? Same thing?
Same thing, except use a darker lens. Rule of thumb, brown lens for river stream, darker lens for saltwater and lake fishing.
Okay, and I noticed the styles don't vary a whole lot. Is there a reason for that?
Actually, there's several different styles. We also do a complete line of readers that have bifocals in them.
Oh, really?
So that you're enabled to tie your line and your knots and your flies and not have to have two pairs of sunglasses on.
Right. So you can, you might need to clip something or fix something.
Exactly. People are always changing flies on the water.
That's right.
This way they can do that without having two pair of glasses on.
Right. Little surgery there or something.
Exactly, yes.
So, all right. Well, what is the best-selling sunglasses you have right now?
Well, if
For
shows are definitely the readers, the bifocals.
okay. Well, what is the price of those?
They're $59.99.
$59.99. And what is your most premium one? Which is
That is the most premium. That's correct.
I noticed they're all about $60 and they start about $25. Is that right?
Yeah, $25 for the economy bifocal. Traditional sunglasses run about $34.99, and the readers are $59.99.
Okay, so it doesn't get too crazy, Yeah.
So it's a very durable product. We do a lifetime warranty, and we're an Expo-only company, so we can do that.
Oh, you're an Expo-only company, so they can't get hold of you online or call you up or anything?
I have some repeat customers that call me.
Right.
But I'm gone every week doing an expo somewhere, so.
Well, I usually take about 2 or 3 months before I publish it. So when's your next expo coming around? Where is it?
Next week in Atlanta.
Well, that'll be in the past for here, yeah. When after that? What about 2 months from now?
2 months from now, fly fishing will be over.
Oh, so that'll be spring, and it's over with?
Yes, the expos for fishing will be over. Then I'm into running and bicycling expos then.
Oh, you'll have the same thing, right?
There'll be a
Different set.
product for runners and bicyclists.
Okay, and when's the next fly fishing show coming around? After, is this the one in New Jersey?
This is it, and then we go south, and then we go west. We'll finish up in a month in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Okay, Pinnacle Performance Eyewear. So they can't get it unless they come to the show.
The expo.
Okay, what about in California and the Midwest? Do you have expos there?
I live in Denver. We do a lot of expos in that area. There's a lot of expos in California.
So could they see a schedule if they go online or something like that?
So they can go to the fly fishing show and they'll see a complete schedule there.
Okay, great. Because it's be frustrating if they say, "Yeah, sounds cool. Where I get it? I can't get it anywhere." Yeah. Okay, and what's your name one more time?
Milky Barnes.
Thanks a lot. Good. Okay, so this place is huge. I wasn't expecting it to be so large, and so it's hard to pick and choose, and I don't know that much. But actually, you stand out. You're the only girl on this row. But it doesn't matter. Tell me who you are and what you do.
I'm Julie Zerb. I'm a fly fishing instructor and guide. I guide in Pennsylvania. I'm in Western New York, and I'm up around Erie for steelhead.
Okay, so you also have a selection of flies that you've tied yourself, and I see that there's quite a wide variety, but these are all for streams, right?
Yes. Like wild trout, brook trout, steelhead. There's a lot of streamers. We have some soft tackle flies. I have some nymphs. And let's see, what else do I have?
So nymphs are the wet flies. No?
Nymphs are the nymphs that are on the bottom of the stream. And
Yeah, that's what I
under
meant
the
by. We used to
rock.
call them wet in the old days.
And then they submerge, they come up out of the bottom of the water,
Right.
and then they start to split that shuck, and they're coming up. So you have different stages of that aquatic
Like
life
a
form.
mayfly would have different stages in its
Correct.
life, so you want to get it at each stage.
Right. I tie for each stage because your fish are eating different stages. Sometimes they'll come all the way to the surface and hit that dry fly. Sometimes they want that nymph, then they're picking the nymphs off the rocks, or they're going for the soft tackle, the emerger, it's coming up.
Uh-huh. And one thing I can ask you while I remember, what about like trout that's been from a farm, and a trout
Like
that's
a
been
hatchery?
live? Yeah, from a hatchery and trout that's live. Back a long time ago when I did it, that was like a thing, is to catch the actual trout. Is that still possible, or are most all of them from the fish hatchery now?
No. Well, there's a lot of hatcheries that still stock, and we have a stocking program through the Brown Trout Club on Pine Creek in the Grand Canyon of Pennsylvania, but there's a lot of wild trout streams all over Pennsylvania where I fish. So you have natural reproductive streams with your wild brown trout and brook trout.
Mm-hmm. Can you still tell the difference when you catch them?
Yes, you can.
Well, how do you tell the difference?
Well, like a wild brookie, the colors, and they don't have scales, and they're just the brilliance in colors, and some are like an inch. Some you're very lucky if you catch one like 12 inches.
Right.
But even the wild brown trout, there's no scales, and just the fins are differently.
Yeah, the fins are different. When you say there's no scales, I mean they don't have skin. They have scales, but it's just a different kind of scale, right?
It's a different kind, and it's more smoother.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah. So that's kind of one of the things that was fun about fly fishing, is seeing if you can see how many live ones you got. Natural ones. What do you call them? Natural.
Wild trout.
Wild trout as opposed to the fish hatchery.
Yes, and to catch a wild trout over a stockfish is just such a reward.
Right.
Because they're smart. They're smart.
Yeah.
They're smart.
Smarter, yeah.
They're in those streams for a reason, and they get big for a reason. They're very smart, and they live under a lot of cover, and they get up under a lot of the slate and back into the bank. We call them bank dwellers.
It's a little more of a challenge to get them.
Yes, it is. A big challenge. You got to know what you're doing. It's nice to go out with someone that guides, or a casting instructor or teacher.
And that's what you do.
And that's what I do. And I teach people how to catch these fish.
Right. So you go on the trip with them. You like drive out in the truck or whatever it is, and you're kind of like there. Do you arrange the whole trip, or do you just accompany them?
They could go on my website and they could book the trip, or call me personally, and I'll ask them what their ability is, if they're a beginner and an advanced beginner, or they're a novice, and I just critique the trip for what their needs are. If they want to go on a half day or a full day, or if they want to go on Big Pine, if they want to do a float trip, I do that. If they want to go for wild trout, we'll hike up these mountain streams.
Right.
And I teach them how to properly approach each water.
Right. Okay, so now what kind of person is going to be going to you usually? Is it just a single person, or a couple, a family, or just all kinds of different people?
Oh my goodness. Sometimes I get a lot of young people coming in. I get a lot of gentlemen coming in with their families. A lot of women are coming into the sport right now, and I think it's like 30%. That's what they're saying. But I get a lot of group trips too. Like
Right.
people want to come in, and I'll have 6 to 10 people, and sometimes that's a little tough. But we do a buddy system, and it works.
Okay, well, that sounds great. Since you did mention it, I mean, I'm looking around and, I've been to a lot of different conventions, and they tend to be kind of gender this or gender that, depending on what they are. I don't think it's anything wrong with this. Maybe it's just the way it is. But you're the only girl here. Are there more that I see around in this neighborhood, at least? Are there a lot of girls doing fly fishing now, or?
Yes, there is. There's a lot of more women coming in the sport, but there's a lot of us around, but we're spread out through the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And over on the other side of this building, there's a bunch of women set up over there for like casting for recovery, and there's some women's apparel over there, and Pennsylvania Fishing Boats over there, and Amity Daniels is at that table. But there's a lot.
Yeah.
There's women here. You just got to find
Yeah, my
them.
sister was just as into it as I was, and she was pretty good. Are women any different at it than the men are, the way problems they have, or the way their technique or anything?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I just tell everybody, find a good mentor that loves
Right.
the sport, buddy up with them, and just go fish.
Yeah, because there's a lot to it. I mean, there's the creation of the fly, if you want to. There's the mechanics of it, a little bit of science, a little bit of nature, and a little bit of relaxation and vacation. And so it's a great sport while it's still around. Okay, well, so that's pretty good. So what's your name one more time, and what's your website?
It's Julie Zerb, and it's www.flyfishingjuliezerb.com.
Let me spell that out, because they're going to say Julie Zur, and they're going to try it 5 or 6 times. It's FLYFISHINGJULIESZUR.com. They would never have gotten that. I wouldn't have gotten the Z and the G and the J.
But we're on Facebook and YouTube. Brookie's usually with me fishing with cancer survivors and wounded vets. She's hiding behind the curtain back here.
Oh, okay.
Which a lot of people know she's here, but that's us. That's what we love
Well, yeah,
to do.
a lot of people put their name up there, and then sometimes they put something else, and then they move it over
Yeah.
to the name, make it a little easier for people to find.
Yeah. I've been fishing since I was 3 years old. My father
Okay.
had me out there, and I learned a lot.
Are you pretty popular, or is it going pretty well?
Yes, it's going very well. Very well. This is
Okay.
what I love to do. A lot of people see me at the shows and they know me,
Right.
but I'm not in my waders. So
Yeah,
that's
people are stopping by and talking to you. Well, thanks a lot. Thank you very much. And is there anything else that you wanted to mention? You got flies on your website. You're consulting with people, and you're on Pinterest, and you're on Facebook, or on all that stuff.
Yes, and Orvis has come out with the 50-50 program for
Uh-huh.
women to get more women out there in the sport.
What's
And
that?
It's just getting more women out there in the sport.
A 50-50 program.
Yes, through
So
Orvis.
I should find that at
yes,
Orvis.
go over to Orvis and talk to them and ask them about that program.
Okay.
Just getting more people. We're just going to keep this sport going with
Right.
men, women, children. I'd love to see more kids
Right.
come out in the sport. I have 4 grandchildren. They all fish with
Yeah,
me.
it's like a real thing.
And the youngest one, she just turned 6, and she could
Yeah.
cast. So these young kids walking around, any of
Yeah.
these children, I love the parents bringing them out, because we got to keep the sport going. And
Hey Bono, still can't find what you're looking for? Might I suggest EcoXie? EcoXie invests their profits to plant trees and regenerate deforested lands around the world. Here's how it works. You search the web with the EcoXie search engine. Search ads generate revenue for EcoXie. EcoXie uses up to 80% of this income to plant trees. Their tree planting officers vet each project to ensure the continued care of the trees and the project leaders on the ground. EcoXie publishes their monthly financial reports and tree planting receipts. So far, over 25 million trees have been planted thanks to EcoXie users. Use HTTPS EcoXia.co/uncommon. UnCommon. And now, more from the Fly Fishing Show, Part 1.
Okay, so I was walking around and you're sitting here very relaxed and you have some beautiful looking rods. And why don't you tell me, before I start to speculate on what you got, tell me what you have and who you are.
Well, I'm Marv Twyla Rods. I'm out in the Poconos of PA. I've been building rods for 40 years. I get cane from China, and I split it into little slivers, and then it's planed into triangles with a particular taper that's set in a steel form with a micrometer. And then the 6 are glued together with string around them to hold them till they dry. And then I sand them, polish them, and mount metal ferrules so they can join together and build rods based on the original taper of the rod maker. I build different kinds: Dickerson, Payne, Leonard, Young, Payzone, Garrison. The Garrisons are my most famous.
Oh, so you build for several different companies then?
No, these companies are all out of business.
Oh.
I'm building reproductions of rods.
Oh, okay. Oh, you build these companies. Okay, you're like, okay, I gotcha.
What kind of rods? Because people, number one, they can't get them anymore so easily.
Right.
And number two, I also do repairs.
Right, this was going to ask you next.
If they have a rod, from Leonard, I have books of tapers, or I can match up to what they had and replace the part and rebuild the rod.
So you said you got the wood from China. What?
Bamboo comes from China.
Okay, so it's bamboo. Is it a particular type of bamboo?
Yes.
What kind of bamboo?
The Chinese called Tingsley bamboo. It grows 40 to 45 feet tall and 3 inches in diameter at some of the bases. And after you get it, you need to dry it for about 8 to 9 years before you even work with it.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I know bamboo is an amazing plant. It's grass, actually, right? Yeah. And it's strong. It grows really fast, and it's flexible. And so, you slice it and you make the rod from it. How long does it take to make a rod?
I don't make one. I make several rods at a time.
Okay.
Usually around 25 a season. So, I'll do it. One piece of cane, 12 foot long, will make 3 to 4 rods,
Okay.
depending on how the splitting goes. So I make 3 of this model, 3 of that model. It's what you would call small volume production.
Now, what are the prices of one of your rods? Just
A basic 2-piece Garrison reproduction is $975.
okay. And are they all around that same price, or do they go up from there?
They go up to about $1,200, $1,300, depending on the rod and what work is involved in it.
Okay, well, that's pretty good. And do you have a website? How do they?
Weiler Rods. You can take a card from them.
Yeah, okay, so that is, I was going to get a card. Got to remember that. www.artweilerrods.com. 2 R's. And you are in Pennsylvania.
Poconos.
Poconos.
Yes.
Okay, well, is there anything that you have that you're excited about promoting in this particular show this year, 2018, or it's the same every year?
Look at the rods that don't have any guides on or no varnish. Those are reproduction of Shower rods. Shower was a slightly known maker from Stroudsburg, PA, and he built rods in the 30s and 40s mainly, and they were very good rods. So I had one I had to work on, so I put a mic on a micrometer to get the taper, and then I'm building 6 of them this winter.
So do you have like a reference rod, or do you kind of know what the details are of each one?
No, I do a lot of repairs, so I write down. I have a reference book that I write everything in.
Right. So you keep a book.
Yes.
Well, that's really interesting. And like I said, we're going to have a link. I'll have a link on my blog site. Well, I was just thought of a question as I was leaving, but what made you decide to go with bamboo? You said your grandfather?
My grandfather built bamboo rods,
Okay.
and I wanted to continue with that.
Right.
And I started fishing bamboo as a kid because that's all there was.
Right. Well, there's a particular charm about bamboo. Yeah, I mean, the scaffolding they build sky rises.
Oh yeah, but
China
that's a different kind of bamboo. But sometimes it isn't. Sometimes they use Tonkin,
Oh, they do.
but they shouldn't.
Okay. You use the good stuff. Yeah.
Chinese are not enthralled with bamboo exactly.
Actually, bamboo is better because it's easy to grow and it's easy to recycle and it's easy to harvest, right? It's a weed. It's a
green
grass.
material.
Yeah, it's a green material.
Yep.
You're not like cutting down forests. Okay. Once again, thanks a lot. Okay. Bye-bye. Just talking to someone actually who's making the bamboo rods right over here to know the difference between like what you have and your kind of rod and something like a wood rod or something like that, or what you are, who you are first.
I'm Pat. I'm a pro staffer for Scott. And
And you make the fly rods?
I don't make the fly rods. Does the company make the fly rods?
Yeah, the company makes the fly rods. But what's the name of the fly rod company? It's Scott?
Scott fly rods.
And what are they made out of?
These are graphite.
Now, what's the advantage of a graphite, though, over like a bamboo or something?
They're more powerful. They're lighter.
You can cast it out farther, right?
Oh, yes. And easier. Yeah, and like if you were with the bamboo, that isn't as powerful, but it has their own aficionados.
So, what are the price ranges of the graphite rods that you have here?
It depends. Some are about 400, some go all the way up to 900. They're from 7 foot all the way up to 10.
7 foot all the way up to 10 foot. And where are these made? You said they're made in America?
Colorado.
Colorado.
Right.
So they're handmade in Colorado, machine made?
They're machine made. There's preference. Everybody, if some people like a slower action,
Oh, okay.
and if that's the case, then we have the G series. And if you like the faster action, they're the Radians. And then the Flex is a less expensive, faster action rod.
So it depends on what you're
Oh yeah.
what you're good at. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's got their own style.
I'm a little nutty. I've got them all.
Right. You all at the same time?
Oh yeah.
All at once?
Oh no.
All right. Well, hey, listen. It was great talking to
Thank you.
And the website is on the back here somewhere.
Yep.
Okay. It is. Okay. So I guess it's www.SCOTTFLYROD Scotty Fly Rod.
Right.
Okay. Great. Thanks a lot.
You be
Thanks for
good.
your time. Okay. Bye bye. Okay, so I was walking by and you got one of the coolest setups, I have to say, in the show. I mean, this is like real heavy-duty stuff. What is it? Well, who are you and what is it?
So we're Yeti. In its simplest form, we are the premier cooler company, but nowadays we are way more than just coolers. We are everything from drinkware to, the end-all be-all chairs to dry bags. We've come out with a lot of new things this year, stepping away from the hot and cold cooler insulation world, which has been great for us. Going to our roots, though, we have added new coolers. We've added new sizes. We've actually come out with a big requested cooler book bag now. That's the new thing for 2018.
Say that one more time. The what?
It's a cooler book bag, so it's called the Hopper Backflip. Essentially what it is people have been asking us nonstop to make a cooler they could wear as a book bag, free up their hands. So we're doing that for 2018. Yeah, backpack.
Oh, okay.
Essentially. So we have the Backpack coming out this year, and we've also released a whole line of gear bags as well. The gear bags are nice because it's our newest thing. It's no cooler installation, but what it is literally your end-all be-all gear bag. 100% airproof, watertight, the whole 9 yards. So anything from your whitewater adventure to your afternoon hiking trip to throwing the gear in the back of the truck at the long day of working on the ranch, this bag is for you.
Yeah, now that you mentioned it, they used to have the fly fishing guy vest for many years, since the 20s or whatever, and photographers have their own bags, so it's about time that
Well, what we found, a lot of our Alaskan guides, you have to be piloted in by a plane. They drop the gear from the plane, and these gear bags have to be 100% airtight, waterproof, and indestructible from driving from a plane, and that's what we came with.
And they're very fashionable also. I mean, they're like a pastel gray and green and what is that, a turquoise or something like that?
Yep. Our thing at a Yeti is that we don't want to go too flashy, but we want to give you options. Everyone has their own personal style and their color and like. Yeti is a very clean, fluent look, but at the same time, we like to kind of give it a little bit of its own and let people decide on their color and style.
So you have, just walking over here to your display a little bit, Fly Fishing Video Awards 2017 Best Cinematography. So you were inside. What's this all about?
Well, I'll say this. What people also don't realize is, yes, we are a product company where we specialize in gear, coolers, all that, but we also are very big in the cinematography world. We have a lot of films that we specialize in, Yeti ambassadors, and just people out there in the community that are living the Yeti lifestyle, as we like to call it. So we do a ton from films, short films, long films, you name it. We are out there to show brand awareness and to show what people love and do and how Yeti incorporates that into their lives.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting. That's kind of becoming more popular now with little films that companies are making. Yeah,
short films, anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes and longer than that, just showcasing, these people that are in the industry, the people that are out there, the ranch hands to the rodeo riders to the surfers on the West Coast, you name it, we have a little bit of it all.
Right, and since you won an award, you do good films, which I think is what is needed.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it says a lot when they're handing us awards.
Yeah. It's not just another. You first, because we're talking about this, you have a YouTube page? What's your YouTube page?
Oh, we do. You can go on Yeti.com and click it right off of there, or YouTube, it's Yeti at YouTube.com.
So that's, I imagine it's YETI.com. That's it?
That's it.
Very easy.
That's
okay.
the simplest way to go there and see. Just go directly to Yeti. You can see all the products. You see all the films. You can ask any question, get filled in, or just go on there and kind of see what we have to offer. There's something for everybody at Yeti.
Right. And one more quick question. Where are you located? I mean, where's your central office? Where are you?
So Yeti is located in Austin, Texas. That's our home right there. That's home base. We have a flagship store we opened up this past year as well, right across from Yeti itself. So come on down there if you're ever in the Austin area, right downtown, beautiful area, right off the water. You'll really appreciate it.
Okay, great. Well, it's fantastic. It's a cool product. Like I said, it looks cool.
Hey, well, we appreciate it. And, with Yeti, keep your eyes open. And there's a ton of new stuff coming out for spring 2018.
Yeah, I recommend people go to your website and check out all this cool stuff. You got drinking to backpacking type stuff and everything. Okay, man.
Absolutely. Hey,
thanks a lot. Fly fishing community is about, and there's going to be people who know a lot about fly fishing out there as well. But you're sitting here in your it's kind of like, what is a Scottish suit, business suit?
It's a Scottish tweed.
Scottish tweed, and then you've got your boots.
Yeah, Galway. Yeah, the company is Dewberry of Ireland, and the boots are the Galways. It's just below the knee. It's a leather boot that's Gore-Tex line, so it'll do anything like a welly boot will do, but breathable. And you can look nice in tweed, dress up. Go hiking, walk in the creek, hose them off.
You said that they're what kind of boot did you say they were again?
It's like a leather welly boot.
Welly boot. What's a welly boot?
Welly boot is like a traditional rubber boot that's like knee high that people wear, muck in, do different things. Right. This is just like a dress version of it that is breathable also.
Yeah, they're brownish. They look leather. All of the boots are kind of brown leather sort of. Yeah, they look like business class fishing gear.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it's comfortable too. It looks comfortable.
Yeah, they're real comfortable.
Does that go over your shoes?
No, it's a boot.
It's the boot, so you fit them right inside there. And like, do people order those online? Is that how you get them, or do you come into a store?
We have, depend on where you go, if you go to dewberry.com, you can check local retailers. We do that same website. You can also order from there.
Okay.
And then we go on the road too, so you can always check us out there.
What's the best way of fitting a boot then for yours? Because that's a problem with getting something like that online sometimes, is to get the right size, because Americans' feet are, I don't know, they're always sticking them in their mouths, right? So they're a little big.
Absolutely, yeah. When you're investing this much in a boot, I always recommend getting fitted. You can always see us at shows. We're happy to fit anybody. We'll write it down. Okay. They do run European sizing, and it is true to that, but it's still always good to get fitted.
So it would be like a European boot if they were to fit that. That would be the size they'd want to go with. Okay, what's the price?
The tall ones go around $489 for the Galway. The tall ones are around $500. Okay. About $100 less for calf height, and then $150 less for our ankle boot version. And they're all handmade, high quality, dry fast, dry soft leather, built to last, high quality. The leather gets wet. It's dry fast, dry soft, so it doesn't stiffen up, it doesn't stretch. The leather's only water resistant, that way it doesn't seal up the boot to allow it to be breathable. Waterproof's in the lining.
Okay, so yeah, because you're standing in a bunch of water. You got a bunch of people here coming in now pretty quickly. But one other quick thing: anything about this fact that it's Scottish? Because do they do the same type of fly fishing in Scotland as they do everywhere else?
It's an Irish.
Ireland.
Yeah, it's an Irish company. It's a country boot. You can walk in creeks, so you can fish in them. You can also muck in them. It's good for rain, mud, anything. It's pretty much a Swiss Army knife of boots, but it also looks nice, so you can always take it out to eat. Also, yeah.
Yeah, because you're in, like I said, you're in that tweed there, so and it looks pretty good. It's like, and it's okay. So, what's the website? It's say it one more time.
It's dewberry.com.
So www.dewberry.com.
Absolutely, yeah. Check us out there.
Dewberry of Ireland. You got a Pinterest and all of that other stuff, like Facebook?
We have Facebook, Instagram.
Okay.
Just search Dewberry of Ireland, and you'll find it.
Right, and I'll put a link on my blog, too. Thanks a lot. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Thanks a lot. Okay. Walking by, I got to get a high-end reel company in. For some reason, I haven't gotten anybody with any reels. And you are a high-end reel company.
Yes, we are. Vanstall. So we started back in '91, and we made the first waterproof sealed spinning reel. So it's all machined out of aeronautics-grade aluminum and was designed to eliminate failures. So you could reduce all that maintenance from going in salt water, and you could fish it underwater. So that's our foundation. So
you could fish underwater? I never tried that.
Sure. Well, there are times that you have to get out on a bar where the reel's going to spend all its time underwater until you go cast. Okay, so you lift it up and you cast just so you could reach the rips. So everything we do is based on that foundation, which is waterproof, sealed, machined, and made of the best quality materials like 6061 T6, titanium, and hardened stainless steel. So the reason we're at the 2018 Edison Fly Show is because we're introducing a new line of fly reels. So we have 6 models. We have the 3-weight, 5-weight, and 7-weight that we call the VF-LW for lightweight, which is freshwater. And then we have the VF 8, 10, and 12 HD reels for salt water. And what makes them different is that each one of them is the lightest in its class, but yet the strongest because of the way we machine them.
Oh, so the whole fly reel thing is new?
Yes, but we had the Sevex fly reels that really revolutionized the fly industry back in 2002, where we made a modular, sealed, waterproof reel that a lot of other companies today emulate. This was a way of improving on this and lowering the cost. So what we also introduced is the new VR50, which is the lightest waterproof sealed spinning reel ever made. So you have this little reel that will hold 360 yards of 30-pound braid, but is capable of doing things. So you would say this is a 3,000 size, but it's capable of doing things that 4,000 size spinning reels would do. So it's an ultralight spinning reel that's waterproof sealed. So if you're a traveling angler, now you could take one reel, put it on a 3-piece rod, and if you're blown out when you're fly fishing, you go catch tarpon, bonefish, snook, barracudas.
It looks super high tech. It's like something a Terminator would have if he went fishing. What's the price on this? It looks also very expensive.
Well, it's $489, but of value.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yep. So that's what Vanstall's doing now, but we always have something neat going on. But really, if you walk around this building, what almost everyone has, and even our competitors who make reels, they have our solid titanium pliers. These are something that you could literally store in salt water and they'll never corrode because all the components are...
So they'll last a lifetime.
That's what they are. So you look at a lot of the guides here walking around, they all have them on their hips.
Yeah, they're pretty cool looking. I guess it's going to be a better deal for the younger you are. So 10-year-old, you get it for the rest of his life, it's a better deal.
There you go.
Okay, what about the clippers? Do you have clippers too?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, these are...
Oh, they clip too?
Absolutely. We were the first ones to make a plier that cut the super braids.
Well, there you go.
Okay, so these are replaceable cutters on both the 6 and the 7-inch pliers.
Okay, well now you make the reels. Maybe this isn't a good question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Do you have like a preferred partnership with a rod company or any of the other companies that you like to deal with, or just anybody?
We're kind of myopic in that, where we make the best fishing reels in the world. And there are other people that spend their time and their energy making the best rods in the world. So we try to partner with those. So rods are something that people have to put in their hands and feel, whether they want a fast rod or slower rod.
I guess it's like an instrument, sort of.
It is. So you know what? That's something that the angler can choose. We're going to make the best reels to put on it, and I'll help them choose whatever's going to balance the rod that they choose.
Well, that makes perfect sense. Yeah. So this is where you want to spend you want to get the best. Yeah. The other one you want to kind of tailor it to, price isn't really going to be an issue. Sure. Yeah. What's the price range though? I'm not sure you told me that.
Okay, it's going to be $259 to $549.
Okay, not too bad.
Okay, so it's not bad. So, my adage was when we came out with these, the world doesn't need another $1,000 fly reel.
Yeah.
Okay, we made one. Now, at this stage, a decade later, we've gotten so good at what we're doing, we could bring that price down on a reel that's going to be as good or better.
Right. Okay, final thing, website. Where's the best place to buy this?
Vanstall.com, you can come visit us, or Vanstall Fishing on Facebook. But you can see the list of dealers on the Vanstall website.
Okay, VANSTAAL.com. So it's got 2 A's in it. Yeah, sometimes you give them the website and people are like, I can't find it. And they find some other hawk place that. Okay, well that's great. And what's your name one more time?
Craig Cantelmo.
Thanks. Thank you very much. It's very good. It's a fantastic looking product. Thanks.
Okie dokie. Well, that's it for the Fly Fishing Show Part 1. In the next episode, I'll have the grand finale of the New York audio show. Stay tuned. For advertising on the UnCommonCore podcast, go to www.advertisecast.com/1306. That's www.advertisecast.com/1306. To contribute and be part of the podcast, be a patron. Just go to www.patreon.com/UCC podcast. That's www.patreon.com/UCC podcast. Find us on the web at www.uncommoncorepodcast.com or www.uccpodcast.com. And you can now watch our YouTube channel where you can see videos from vendors at www.uncommoncorevideo.com. That's www.uncommoncorevideo.com. Share it, subscribe, and comment below. Email me at uncommoncorepodcast@yahoo.com. Let me know how you're doing. Until next time, this is Tom Howell.
You've been listening to the UnCommonCore podcast with Thomas Howell. I'm Satoko Smith. Thank you for listening.